What's going on, people, and welcome to Nerds of the Brown Table, where we talk about Marvel, and more Marvel. I'm Snalez. Today I am here with King Tut.
Hello, Vietnam. This is about to get spicy because he could end up in Vietnam because we saw him end up in Alcatraz. We saw him end up, I don't even know where B-52 was. That was crazy. Or B-15. Wait, was it B-15? Yeah,
B-15.
Yeah, B-15.
B-15?
Yeah.
No, you good.
So,
but yeah,
let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about.
So first of all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and first of all,
ding.
Loki is now OP as fuck.
OP.
Loki can travel anywhere in time and space in any multiverse. And that is very OP. So my question is, because I'm a little confused though. Why is this man time slipping though? I don't understand. You got an explanation? You got a understanding?
To my understanding, he's time slipping because he's trying to figure out where he is going or needs to go. To some degree, I think, like when somebody time slips, from what I understand from OB himself, Ouroboros. No, when you are in your wrong universe and you're time slipping, it's basically trying to pull you back into your time in some way. But it's dragging you through certain points in your mind because it's in your temporal aura. So it's also going to drag you into places that you want to go that mix a line with your temporal aura. So like people that he runs into or places that he's been to. That's why he's so easily able to go to the McDonald's where he first talked to Sylvie when he broke out of the TVA, and B-15 at the hospital, and Casey at Alcatraz for some reason. I don't know why. Because their temporal aura is aligned in some way. Besides,
he could just find their. I think he could. Right. He could. If I understand it right, he could just find their temporal aura because he's been with them, and his body will naturally go to whoever he wants to go to. And I guess like the why is because OB's fix for his time slipping is, I guess, because it was theoretical.
Yeah, because
that
even
it would work.
OB
Cause
said,
like he's obviously time slipping again, and like OB said, it was like
it could be science.
It was just
fiction.
theoretical.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, it was fiction." I was like, "Ah, it's all crumbling!" Oh no! That was a panic moment.
So like,
sure.
why though? Why can he control it? That's the question. Everybody,
and
like why would it be able to be controllable?
And now knowing that he can time slip, is he gonna go back to when they first had the gate open before Timely died?
That's where I think that it ended for sure.
Or do you think that's when Timely went down there right before he died? Because there were alarms going.
I feel like he's gonna have to. I feel like it's not a one-time thing. No. I feel like he's gonna have to correct himself a few times. So I think that like we're gonna see him fail a few times, and then he's finally gonna get it right. So I think this is just the start of it. So I feel like we could go to either or. You know what I mean?
Because I feel like if he goes back to before they got Timely, and they save it without Timely, that still puts Ravonna and Miss Slay and Miss Minutes.
Yeah.
At the same spot with Timely, giving him the book, and then leading him on that path to a fixed TVA with no problems.
Right. He could go. They could go right before that moment and just swoop Ravonna and Miss Minutes up.
They would have to. He would have.
But they would have had to. I mean,
he's also gonna have to explain his time slipping to everybody. no matter where he goes, because he can't
Yeah,
bring
he's
them
gonna
with
have. Like we saw in like one of the trailers, he's like, "This is gonna sound strange."
That shit was funny.
Again.
That was funny.
It's like, oh, he's been here before. I thought it was cool and interesting that we saw Loki saying hello to Loki. No, they never like actually interact. I guess like, I just think it's interesting that they can interact with each other, right? Because like usually that's like a no in time travel. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's what I was talking about a little while ago. It's like, now that he's aware of the moments that he can go to, he can track down his own temporal aura and go to those moments where like he pruned himself, or when he said hi to himself, shit like that.
Exactly.
And fuck with time in a whole different way. Loki basically just became like keeper of time in certain ways.
Oh yeah, definitely. He became like one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. Like if he can go back through time and like alter it,
I
and
also
like
feel
erase.
like it's dangerous to certain people to find this out though.
Oh, definitely.
Like think if Doctor Doom could harness Loki's power.
Oh, that'd be bad.
Bad.
That'd be no bueno.
That
No
would be
bueno.
Very bad. I also think that Doctor Doom is the one that created Miss Minutes.
Ooh, that'd be lit. That'd be a crazy twist.
Cause okay, so there's one thing that throws me off about all of it.
Yeah.
Timely said, or Miss Minutes told him that he created her. Like at first it was just a piece of AI on a computer or whatever, and eventually built it up into what she is now.
Yeah.
The one statement that I heard from Timely is in his notebook. He said, "I have written down every invention I've ever had in this notebook." And Miss Minutes said she's not in there. There's no picture of her in there. That throws me the fuck off.
And he was like, "I haven't made you yet, or I will," or you know, like he was like, "I still haven't like gotten to that point in my life."
But
I didn't even know you were a thing.
But according to her, she's been with him through this whole time period. Or not this whole time period, but like once he basically escaped onto that boat, was like that's when he started going on his mission to finding her. So he would have already drawn up that invention or had a prototype of that invention.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. And maybe we won't even get that answer. Maybe it's like. Also, I think it's curious that like once, and also this is a reference back to last week's episode breakdown or review. At the end, right, the TVA voice throughout the whole TVA was a male voice. So I also think that like, what if she was set back to 0, right?
Yeah.
TVA still exists. Somebody else comes in, like starts to build the TVA, finds her. And then remakes, like maybe it's like the other version of He Who Remains remakes her from scratch that way. Like, there's so many different possibilities when it comes to this shit.
Yeah,
like
because if she keeps saying, Miss Minutes keeps saying that like you will never be him. Like that was the last thing she said.
Yeah, so like, is he really him?
Exactly. Is that really the person that you're trying to get back to, or
probably
are you just
not
trying to recreate?
Because he said he was. Also, the other thing is, he said he was from the 31st century. This Victor Timely Kang variant is from the 18th century, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh wait, did I do that right? Yeah. But yeah, so it's like, what the hell? Like,
he would have had
all
to
of his and he explained
young.
He explained all his variants were like from the 31st century too. So it's like, why is this the anomaly? Also, my thing last week was like, why is it that like He Who Remains is interfering after he said kill me and like the branches will just branch? Why is he sending Ravana to like to go and like interfere with like the timeline. You know what I mean?
Like, it should have just.
What is the plan here?
That shouldn't. Like, there was no way his plan was for Ravonna to do that, because Miss Minutes was the one that put Ravonna on it.
Right.
And
so it's like,
Miss
is
Minutes
that
is controlling? If Miss Minutes was never controlling He Who Remains, because we saw him leave her at one point.
Yeah.
Then why does she think that she's in control in some way? Like, she's like,
she can't be. He's still controlling her. He's still got a hold on
something
her
else
AI
is controlling
somewhere,
her.
man.
There's no way it's the AI controlling her. It's
Something's
a false mission that she keeps screaming about. Like, I love you.
Somehow
Why?
it's restarted. Somehow it's like it's looped back to 0, and now it's like the timeline is reset, and like maybe he created a loop to always make himself He Who Remains. Like maybe that's his end goal. This is like the loop that always makes him He Who Remains, and they gotta stop that.
That would be fire. That'd be like a
Something
dope,
like that.
like description for a character. He Who Remains, because he basically created an infinite Horcrux.
Dude, that's insane, right?
That'd be fire.
So everything started to spaghettify. Everything. Like in the you can't touch it, you can't grab it, you can't do anything about it. Like Loki was trying to like grab onto it at the end there. What the fuck?
I just had his bag sitting here. That's kind of crazy.
That's funny. But yeah, once everything just starts going, there's no stopping that, except for if you have a time travel ability. That's insane.
A temp pad.
Or a temp pad.
Which we now know Sylvie's still using. So, okay. Let me understand this. Sylvie's the only one of herself, right?
I believe so. Or at least, no, there could probably be all the other versions of her, but like because
she's a Loki.
Yeah. There could be other versions of her out there that didn't go down this path for sure. I think that's definitely a possibility. I don't think anything's ruled out when it comes to the multiverse. You know what I mean?
I just find it really weird that we haven't seen another version of her yet, or they haven't tried to go find another version of Sylvie. Like,
right.
This one's like halfway given up out the door. Like,
I know.
There's
so
one that's
annoying.
The assassin still. Like,
it's so annoying. She's just like half out of this whole like she's half out of like the reality of the situation. It was like she was just like ready to just chill and listen to some music, and everything is fucking going to shit. And it's just like, bro, like,
and then
you really think that you just saved you're really that head high that you think that you just saved everything. You know what I mean?
Like, what?
You're not. You didn't. Like, this is like Loki seems to understand the concept, and Sylvie's just like la da da da. Like, nah, I don't care.
I'm over it. TVA ruined my life.
Like, it's way more complex. Like, time travel is not a like one and done. Like, all right, cool, we're good. No, you just did something else. Like, something is now
upkeep.
This cause and effect.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's fun,
yeah, seeing her whole universe spaghettify was really sad, and then watching the fucking the tempad that Obi built vanish. I thought the same fucking thing they did. I was like, Casey, why you stealing shit, bro? I was like, I know you was fucking thinking about it, bro. I know it was you.
He was for sure. He like hit it. Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, that was really sad. Seeing everything crumbled. I'm very curious to see how Loki sets this up.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, what he's gonna do about that.
Because, like, before, when he didn't have control, he was able to go back and forth in time and plan for certain things. Is he gonna be doing that again, but with control?
You're right. That is the question.
Or is he gonna be doing this so much that he slips into a spot that he doesn't want to go to? and like fuck around ends up in front of Thanos getting his neck broke again or something like that.
Man, see, here's the thing. I don't think he could go to
Before the
before anything that He Who Remains wrote. That's where I think.
I don't even know.
I don't know, bro. I don't know,
First
man.
of all,
Never mind.
We don't even
Forget
know
what I just said.
Wrote shit.
Yeah.
They could have just taken credit for the universe. Fucking bitch.
Right. This man. But so here's what I was thinking, like, during all these like revelations of who everybody was. Like, Casey is like Frank from Alcatraz. If y'all saw that movie, The Rock or Escape from Alcatraz, I think those were both based on him, right? Doesn't know Loki again. Kind of funny, like a callback to episode 1. B-15, her name was Verity Willis, pediatrician. Thought it was interesting that she was from like New York 2012, bro. Or at least it looked like she was in New York in 2012.
That's what I thought too. I was like, that's very curious that she's from that timeline.
Battle of New York.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then Mobius is Don the jet ski salesman. You know?
Oh, wait. That actually makes sense, though. Because Loki would have been in New York, too. And that would have aligned their temporal orders.
But it was a branch timeline. So was she on the original timeline, too? That's the question, because all these were branch timelines.
That's true.
And the other thing I was thinking about is, like, if they're all branch timelines and when they were working in the TVA, were they potentially, like, pruning their own selves out of existence from those branch timelines? Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, that was their job, just to prune timelines that led to alternate versions. So it could possibly be that they were killing themselves, which is nuts to think about.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. Like, maybe this is also like rewriting their own same history again. Like, this is how they were pulled out of the TVA the first time.
Right. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, with Loki coming back and with him gathering everybody, and then but then at the very end he went back to before that. So then I was like, oh, maybe that's out the window now.
I see, that's what I'm wondering about, like the whole, if a universe is spaghettified, if he's able to travel back to it or not. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the existence is technically gone. The way I have seen time work in almost every fucking movie, that shit is gone.
Exactly. That's what we got to get into in a little bit. And then OB is AD Doug, the writer and professor. He has a PhD in theoretical physics and teaches at Caltech. So here's what I'm thinking about, you know, like, why I think he can go back to the TVA. And let me gather my thoughts on this for 1 second, because this shit is complex. So the only reason why Loki can time travel back to the TVA is because he was able to time travel within the TVA, right? Okay. So, like, this means that since he has done the impossible already, he can technically still do the impossible, right? So the reason why he's able to come back to those points before everything went to shit is because he's already done the impossible. Therefore, everything is theoretical and everything is possible. You know what I mean?
It's blown.
So, like, I think that's the reason why he can still go back to before everything got spaghettified, because he's already done the impossible. So theoretically, he can still do the impossible. Therefore, what he did at the end, that's why, and that's another reason why I think OB said this was fiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was like a hint to Loki to say that, like, this isn't like how this story ends. This is the fiction right now. You can still do what you got to do, because OB already said he believes that he can do the impossible. You know what I mean? Therefore, when Loki time slipped back, he time slipped into his own mind, which is different than just time slipping his physical body this time. which is also seems to be impossible, but apparently it is possible. So he's forced out his past consciousness from his past self and inserted himself into the moment. So that's why he's now able to like rewrite all that shit.
Basically,
super fucking complex.
Basically, traveling through his temporal aura.
Exactly, like you were saying, you know, like you had it, but like, yeah, I understand. Like it's so confusing that it's so easy to get lost in like in the bigger picture. It's just like, what the heck? So like, I guess the order to time, the answer to his time slipping was who. So he goes to where. He goes to the moment where the gathering, like he goes to, he pinpoints, like Obi said, their coordinates when people are together in that specific moment in time, which then make up that specific temporal aura, which then make those coordinates somewhere out there in space and time. Yeah. So he's able to just go to that direct path by thinking about who was there at that moment, I think. And then so then that's when he starts trying to, then that's kind of like when his body like goes to where it needs to go.
Or at least he tries to get his body to it.
Freaking yeah, exactly. When he's doing that, oh man, the time slipping montage was hilarious.
Motherfucker was
he was trying
dancing like Homer Simpson getting electrocuted.
I like how when he went to Mobius's time too, he like did the flappy waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. You know what I mean?
I rewinded that twice. I was dying. Oh my god.
Oh man.
He
did that. He did that. That was great.
As much as all of this,
they're funny for that.
Is just like a lot of absorbing all this information really quickly as he's traveling through time. I'm glad that they're taking the moments to just like do
these funny things.
Yeah, funny things. Give us explanations.
One-liners, essentially.
One-liners. Keeping me interested in other things besides just me freaking out over the timeline collapsing.
Right. So Mobius is just allowing people into his house?
Yeah, that was a little weird to me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I understand the grind and everything. Like
yeah, he was really trying to get rid of that jet ski. He was done with that thing. He was like, yeah. So how much do you want it for? like, what is... I'm glad that OB showed up at just the right time in order to convince this man that Loki wasn't crazy. Because, like, he was about to call the police. He was about to get a bat. it was like, what is this guy talking about? And you know what I mean? How strange would it be to find out that, like, someone you've never met before shows up on your doorstep and is like, yo, I know you, and you were a completely different person when I know you, in a completely different area, and a completely different place and time and space. And I need you to help me with this very important mission that you don't even know about, because possibly this is the beginning and starting point for when you go on this mission.
Yeah.
Which wasn't true because that man turned into spaghetti. But, it's just, how crazy would that be? That would be a mind trip. Like, you would be like, what?
I wouldn't know how to honestly tell them that. I think we'd probably like have to get a bite to eat first. Get a drink. Maybe
go get some pizza real quick.
Get hammered.
It seemed like it was urgent though. Like, how do you do that in such urgency? Like, somebody shows up at your doorstep and is like, time is about to, like, you are a very important person. Time is about to end, and I need you to help me stop it.
I would be like,
ending.
All right, we're gonna go to the racetrack right now, or we're gonna go to the fucking sports betting real quick. You tell me who wins. I believe he will go.
Be like, I don't know.
Okay, so
OB lost his job and wife. I just want to say that, and he just like, I just thought that was funny.
He kind of just like nonchalantly said it too, but
he was like,
he seemed hurt a little bit by it.
All right, yeah, he just like, I mean, he had 19 months to process it, or like however many months after he started trying to make it to process it. But I just thought it was funny. But yeah, go ahead with your theory.
Well, okay. From what I remember from just reading that, so He Who Remains is said to be somebody that is going to be there at the end of time, and is somebody that had to have been there at the beginning of time. Ouroboros is basically developing the moments like he's developing that moment itself, the beginning of time and the end of time, with the temporal orb. Like because he designed the loom to go in a certain way.
Yeah.
That's him basically being at both points. So the theory is he is He Who Remains.
How did he become black?
Well, okay, here's the other thing. He Who Remains was never a Kang variant.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, you think he's the original?
I think he's the original, and I think that the He Who Remains that we see was like maybe Ouroboros is the one that was controlling Miss Minutes and wiped that He Who Remains memory and made him think that he's this creator of time.
That would be crazy.
Because to me it's kind of strange that when we first see He Who Remains and Miss Minutes together, she's strictly working for him. There's really no animosity towards her.
Yeah.
But yet the moment back in time when we see he basically cut her out of the whole picture because he could tell that she was evil.
Yeah.
So why is she back? And Ramona's already wiped memories.
Yep. Man, that's crazy. I mean, could be for sure. Damn.
So if Obi and Miss Minutes have been working together this whole time, or Miss Minutes took over at some point, or Miss Minutes is being controlled by someone else, regardless, I believe this is it. The whole conversation comes down to Obi and Miss Minutes and what the final fucking conversation between that is. Have they even talked?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
They have not interacted. But they did interact in the past. Possibly. Unless they didn't. He just ran diagnostics every few hundred years.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's crazy.
But I mean, that all leads into the character development throughout the show, man. It's out this world.
Crazy. It's on point. Like you get to you see some of their personalities from their selves in real world, and then how it carries over into their variants, or into their variant selves when they're in the TVA. So interesting. Like Mobius is still like witty and like quick, like he is when he's a TVA agent.
Can we give a small clap to him on the jet ski finally?
Yeah, we finally understand his obsession with jet skis. He is the salesman of them.
That was great.
He doesn't quite have the passion that Mobius has for a jet ski, but he just sells them. Because he was quick to get rid of that one jet ski and give it to Loki. But I don't understand. I don't see any Casey personality in Frank at all, though. I see some B-15, like she's kind. She saw herself on her own timeline because Sylvie like opened up her mind and she understood like her purpose. Like
I feel like,
and then
this version of Casey or I should say Frank,
Casey was just not.
It's almost like his opposite in some way.
Exactly. It's like it's so interesting.
Because I feel like this version of Frank, like, if he had Casey's job in the TVA, he would have stolen all the fucking Infinity Stones for no reason, type shit.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think that he's gonna be the final version of Casey. I think he's the one that they return to their timeline, and maybe
Screw that guy.
give B-15 and Mobius a different life. I wouldn't trust Casey.
No.
We're trying to rob a bank.
That's all he was trying to do. He's got a whole temp pad, and he was like, so I could get in and out of a bank real quick, huh?
That was Obi's just like,
that was his big thought.
You realize
that
what's
man
going
had
on,
a
bro.
$1 million idea, literally. That's funny. Loki spits some Hulk time travel heist knowledge, you know, like he did with the Ancient One. Or like he did when he said to the Ancient One with Mobius. He was like, I will put you together back at the point in time when we left, and it'll be like you never left.
Yeah.
And Mobius was like, but I'll know, you know? And that's like, dang, yeah, you will. Like, your life would never be the same after that, for sure.
Yeah, it was really sad when everything was spaghettifying and he was like, I gotta get back to my boys. He was
thinking about his boys.
I was like, oh,
yeah.
Jack, bro,
Can we just talk about heavy Snap vibes, heavy Thanos vibes? Except for like way worse. Like there was nothing. And Sylvie just chilling. Sylvie's just chilling while everything's going to crap. She took her sweet time. She like took her she waited up until the moment to leave. There was nothing there at the end of that. It was black. That hit me hard.
It's almost selfish in some way.
Right. Like, oh no, it's crazy.
Loki
finally wants to stop.
Yeah.
Huh? Go.
Loki finally admitted his truth for everything. And he just wants his friends back.
He just wants his friends back.
And I like I just said, it's kind of selfish of Sylvie, but like Sylvie said, it's kind of selfish of Loki.
Exactly.
Which
tough choices in that moment, man.
Yeah, it's a tough choice when everything that you've worked so hard for and everything in the moment is kind of falling in line for you, or like you're finding a new purpose with these other people, and then it all just kind of crumbles away and can't really do anything about it. And you got to make that decision.
It's kind of, in the end though, it turned out not to be selfish because, you know, the choice was, you know, to save everyone or let them live until their final moment, but their final moment was inevitable.
Yep. So
it's, you gotta save everybody, you know?
But at the same time,
crazy.
He's got to understand the Spider-Man, like, Spider-Man mindset, bro. You can't save everybody.
Right. So now let's talk about, you know, how Loki is able to rewrite the story now. Because he is now doing a different type of time travel, which is more of like a mental butterfly effect time travel, because he can go back to his previous consciousness and like replace himself and rewrite the story.
Yep.
So like I was saying before, when Obi said like it's a fiction problem, this is what he meant. Like it wasn't science, it wasn't fact, you know? It was, he could still go back and save everything. So like now he's at the point where like he's technically this version of Loki in the comics known as like God of Stories Loki.
Yep.
Where he's able to write his own destiny and affect the future in like whatever way he chooses. But at the same time, we're thinking he's Avenger Prime Loki, because at the end of this, at least I believe that he needs to allow the Loom to do what it does. He's going to finally figure out, he's going to go back in time a few times, He's gonna figure out like every time the loom explodes, like this happens, right? So he's got to like eliminate the loom, just get the loom out of there because it's like constricting the timeline. You got to let the timeline branch the way it's supposed to branch. This is when the at the end of Quantumania, when we see all the Kang variants, I believe that's why they're there, because Loki finally realized he needs to just allow the timeline to branch, and he's going to be the new timekeeper of the TVA. But he's also going to put together, and this was what Avenger Prime Loki did, put together a multiversal Avengers team. And it all seems to be starting with Deadpool 3. Because the, spoiler alert, the plot of Deadpool 3 is apparently going to be Mobius and the TVA coming to get Deadpool to recruit him to be on a team called the Multiversal Avengers, and then Deadpool then is like, oh, but I also want Wolverine on this team, so he's gonna go find Wolverine and convince him to be on the team, which will also hopefully lead to a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man come back, and it could also
time.
Exactly, they gotta bring him back. They've always wanted Tobey and Wolverine, like Spider-Man and Wolverine from that early 2000s universe, to be on screen together, and they can finally have that moment, bro.
I wonder how healthy he's gonna be.
Who?
Toby. Like, okay, so bear with me. I don't remember necessarily if they were put back into the moment in time they were brought there at the end of No Way Home, or if they were just sent back to their universe at that same moment. Cause
I don't even know, bro.
He just got stabbed.
They didn't really specify. Oh, I think he was fine. He was like, I've been stabbed before. You know? He was like, it's all good.
I mean, true, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how healthy is he gonna be? Is he gonna even be able to stand up anymore? Man took a whole glider to the back, bro.
Hopefully it had been a minute.
No, not a glider. Took the hand thing.
It was hand. Yeah.
Daggers. Almost took it.
All right, but what are your thoughts about what's gonna happen at the end of this next episode, bro?
All right, so I've been close to right about a couple things. Not in Loki. Not in Loki. Everything that we thought about Loki, that was wrong.
Everything just keeps changing around. Nobody knows what's going on.
I've already predicted that on this podcast also that I believe Toby and Hugh Jackman and Deadpool are basically going to be the multiversal captains for Secret Wars. Before we draft, they basically go out and get the whole team. And part of me thinks that Madam Web is going to come into play still, because Sony is still doing that movie.
Yeah.
I think in some way they might utilize her. If they don't, probably
hopefully
for the
they
best.
do that. Hopefully they do that movie right, because I mean, aren't we overdue for a trailer too? There should be a trailer at some point.
We need something from Sony with all the talk they've been getting with Kraven, and
I just
like
I don't trust that they have the wherewithal to pull off like a multiversal Madam Web movie. Like I don't know. We'll see, but like if they know how to make a video game, though. I'll tell you that Spider-Man game.
Yeah, at this point, like just add everything from your game into real life.
I hope they do, bro. The game OP.
The game is great. If I heard correctly, the Wolverine game and the Spider-Man game are all in the same universe.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
And if that's true, and if we can get a crossover, like, bravo. Fire everybody in your movie studio, writing studio right now, and hire everybody that you have working on your video games. Okay, back to the other
right. Like let them write
at this point
something.
Back to the point though. I believe that they are going to be basically drafting their whole team across time, pulling everybody together. But I think at the end of the next episode, if they want to give us a proper teaser and get people to, one, watch Loki if they've never seen it, and two, for sure watch this last episode, is have Loki figure out everything to a certain degree, where everything in the TVA and the temporal, the time loom is all good.
Yeah.
And have the last 10 seconds of the fucking show, a portal open up, and Deadpool and Hugh Jackman walk through it and greet Loki and say, "So you finally figured it out." And then we start our draft and we get Secret Wars fucking going.
Yeah.
I'm sick of wasting the time. We understand the X-Men are coming. We know this.
I know. The teasers are getting
they're getting out of hand.
Just execute said plan and allow said plan to be planned.
And if the rumors are true, which after the most recent Marvel's trailer, I believe them to be true, we will be getting our first X-Men appearance in Marvel, and we will be seeing nobody other than Beast,
played by Kelsey Grammer.
I pray it's Kelsey Grammer. I pray it's Kelsey Grammer. It was probably the most underrated casting role you could ever think of to end up being
he
perfect.
Killed it.
Yes, killed it.
But they could have made him even better. Like they could have.
At this point, I want him to be what he was in.
Just do that in the next couple movies that you got planned.
I want him to be where he was at in The Last Stand. I want him to be like a full politician, but like obviously he can still go a couple rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man.
I want him to be super smart too. I want him to we already know that he's one of the smarter ones in the whole of the universe, but I want them to like showcase his genius heavily.
Yeah, like we're through the multiverse now. Like let him have some multiversal smarts and let him have some
multiversal monologues. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
From Beast.
Make people look at him sideways like English monster, English.
What are your overall thoughts of this episode?
Mind blowing still. I think between this episode and the last episode, I'm sitting at a solid 9.
Yeah. I'm still at a 9 here. Like, if they nail this last episode, we'll be sitting at a 10. We'll be sitting at a 10 overall for the whole series as a whole, both season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, honestly, like, I could agree with that. Like, I'm really hoping for another WandaVision season.
It's just such a good setup. Like, it sets it up so well.
They do it so well, and Jonathan Majors is incredible. I don't think we've shouted him out enough in this episode. Incredible piece of work. Like Victor Timely is become probably one of my favorite characters that's been on screen.
It was so tragic how he went out.
Still think about that. But hopefully he went back far enough so that we get him again.
Right.
Cause yeah, he's too much fun. He's like a he's
obsessed.
He's like a stuttering Jack Sparrow in some way. Like, it's just hilarious to me. I love it.
For real.
What were your thoughts? What do you rate it?
Oh yeah, 9, and I thought it was one of the better episodes for sure. Yeah. It really keeps you engaged, and it really like you don't want it to end, but like it's definitely like a quick ride. They have it paced out in a way where it was like, okay, like we just cruised through that real fast, and now it's like we're ramping, and it's still ramping up, you know? It's like we're cruising and we're ramping, you know? And it's about to get the crescendo going, and it's about to be lit, and I can't wait to see what they do, and I hope they do what I think they're going to do, which is let the multiverse just be what it's supposed to be, and branch out and do whatever it's supposed to do, and just allow, like, chaos to ensue, bro. Like, I know that all rhymed, but I didn't mean it to.
I 100% agree.
Let us know what you think is going to happen in the finale episode. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions? What do you think is about to happen after Loki? Do you think our predictions were correct on the Deadpool and on the Wolverine and on the Multiversal Avengers and all that?
Comment below.
Hit that like button. Comment. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Marvel, More Marvel, or Nerds of the Round Table. KNERDS with a K. Remember that.
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat.
Knights. Like Mortal Kombat, like Knights, like all that. Yeah. Like Killmonger, like Killgrave, all the other K villains.
Like Killer Wad.
Wait, how far can we go?
I was gonna say, how far can we go?
I'm out of them. Like Kane, is that a K?
I mean, Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, Kang. No, I said Kane, like the Spider-Man clone.
I don't even know.
But yeah. Oh, bro, Kane is Ben Reilly. Spider-Man. But like he's an evil version.
I will always be
evil version. Yes, people. Join us next week for the finale episode. And join us for the Marvels on probably Wednesday, the week after it comes out. And you have been listening to Nerds of the Round Table.
Kate Bishop,
thank you for watching.
Korg, Kree, Kraven the Hunter, Kingpin, King Kong, Kazar, Karnak, Karma, Karen Grant, Kane.
It is with a K. It is with a K.
It is with a K.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
Peace out.